This is a video for 10 things I love and 10 things I hate in response to Twiggy video from years ago on YouTube. First off, what I want to say is the first thing I hate, like from least hate to worst, hate more than anything. The first I hate, what I hate is Thanksgiving. Like, when you have to pretend you're along with your family, and when you have to come together as a family and just like be like, oh, that you're having a great time, even though really you probably don't. And also all that food, the kind of food that you make, which isn't even that good. And also food that like that makes you fat. Another thing I hate in my top 10 is I hate bad smells. And yeah, I'm not gonna say that's always people that cause that, but yeah, I hate bad smells a lot. And I just, I really don't like being around bad smells because it's very annoying. Another thing I hate is school, especially college. Okay, like you have spend all this money that you don't have, and you have all these loans, or even if you do have a scholarship, you're like under all this pressure to get a really high GPA, and still you could waste your time and like get a career that you don't even want, that you thought you wanted, or you can't even get a job with the career that you chose. It's all just really frustrating. And I hate work. Working sucks, especially because most jobs you won't get paid much. And I think it sucks. Because basically sometimes people that are like assistants, they get paid less, they're doing a lot of the work than the actual people in the major profession. Yeah, and you take all any degree and you might still even make much. But job you love is another thing I don't hate. Another thing I hate is airports. Actually flying on a plane. Besides start of like or worry about terrorists that there was back then. I just hate airports. Not so much flying. I hate all the security checks, getting on the plane, all the hassle you have to do waiting in line. Especially if you're like flying alone. It's really annoying and way more lonely. I hate airports a lot. And I hate that you can't see the people that drop you off the airport. Like they can't go through a security check with you. It's really annoying. I hate sports. I think they're lame and people focus on them instead of focusing on real things in the world that are horrible, like animal abuse and animal cruelty. I just think it's really annoying when people act like sports are so great and they argue and fight over their like favorite teams. And I really do think it's lame. And there's like, I think sports can be like very sexist, especially the way they treat women's teams. And the other thing I hate is I hate people that are Republicans and they shove it down your throat, especially people that are like even Republicans and like they're like middle class or lower class, but like it's crazy because like I don't understand why you would vote Republican unless you were rich. So yeah, I really hate the Republicans. I'm somehow the ones that are like, oh, well, I'm Republican because like, fiscally, but then they don't know what I'm about, and they're not even like rich, so why would they vote Republican, unless you're like Paris Hilton rich or something, or Gene Simmons rich. Like, I don't like understand Republicans and how they have to be so the way that they are, especially the way they treat gays and women. And I do not all, but Southern people I don't like, especially the Republican ones. I don't like Southern people, and they're ignorant, and a lot of them are living like in the 18th century still, and I think that's really messed up. I really don't like them, and yeah, Southern people really annoy me, especially because most of them are like giving the hand to them, they're originally like down on other people, and they're just really rude, and I really hate the South, and yeah, I hate that I ever had to live there, in Texas and Georgia, and I really don't like the South. um, religious people. I hate when they have to judge you, and when they act like their Bible is like everything. I hate that. I hate religious people. For the most of them, the ones that don't mind their own business and keep it to themselves, I hate. But the ones that practice, they preach, and they don't judge you or condemn you for not believing the same, I don't hate. I just really hate when people like judge you for not being religious or being a different religion, especially the Christians, because the Bible is very sexist, and I really don't like how like people think God's so great when all the disasters and horrible things in the world, and like how like God killed his own son, and that's horrible. And like when people point at it, they get judged because people just use the Bible as a crutch. But if you use it to believe in something better in the afterlife, then that's different. And another thing that kind of ties into that, I hate hypocrites. I hate people who say they care about saving animals, but they eat meat. I hate people that are abusing animals, especially PETA, because they're hypocrites and liars, and they only help themselves, and their founder is a hypocrite because she uses medicine tested on animals. And I just hate anyone who is hypocritical, especially cheaters who cheat and then they act like, oh, but if you do it back to them, like to get back at them, and then they act like the victim when they're the one who started cheating, so they shouldn't care in the first place. And things I love. I love shopping, and especially shopping for myself, but I don't like Black Friday. I think it's ridiculous, but I like shopping, especially finding deals at like their stores and stuff, especially when I find like some band merch that I really want, but like it's like 50% less or even more. I love photography. I love taking photos, like I want to be a band photographer, and I love taking photos for people, especially when they meet someone they look up to, like a rock star or something, and I think it's fun, like taking pictures in concerts and stuff, or making videos and stuff. Halloween, because I just love it, like it's Devil's Day, so like it's awesome. I love Halloween because you can dress up and be anyone else. Like, even if you want to dress up as a slut for Halloween, like you have it right. And I think Halloween is the best, obviously. And the candy and the horror movie marathons, and like every day in October is Halloween. I love writing and art, drawing, etc., painting, anything, like even fan fiction. It's fun, even that's simple. It's fun. I don't. Well, it's kind of like Halloween, but I love horror-related things like horror conventions, watching like horror movies, reading any like kind of horror books. I do love, especially like, and what I love the most about horror, I guess, is like when you get to meet like horror directors you love. Like when a good movie, a good series actually turns out like the whole series is actually good. It's really awesome. And I love like when this series stays good and consistent. Like it stays good every movie. I love American Psycho especially. It's like my favorite movie. And another thing is family. Well, not my family, some of my family, and likewise people I consider my friends, I consider them my family too. And relatives, some of them. And some of my immediate family, and of course friends. Another thing I love is number 6. I love food, obviously. I only like vegetarian food, and I like baking, but I don't like eggs, but I love most food. I love cooking, except when it takes forever. I love restaurants. Some of them, like my favorites are P.F. Chang's and any Chinese. Mexican, and Italian, of course, and 7. Is this 8? this is number 8. I love books and reading, and not so much the popular bestsellers or best-selling authors. I love books. Like, okay, for the popular authors, I like love Anne Rice and Tolkien, and other than that, I love like obscure books. I love Bret Easton Ellis, Chuck Palahniuk, Megan Hart, Maya Banks, Lauren Dane, Sylvia Day, Eden Bradley, and Fault in Our Stars. I don't know. There's like a whole bunch of books I love. Alex Macaulay, who's a non-well-known author, he wrote Bad Girls and 3 other books. Stephen King, I love his adaptations, and I just read almost anything except really popular crap books. I love sleeping 8 hours or more, preferably at least 10 a night or 12, of just sleeping and do whatever you want, like thinking and dreaming and just staying there and just like escaping with your mind, and you don't have to be around people surrounded by them and their idiocracy. And I love music for obvious reasons. Anything related to music, concerts, and anything like meeting, of course, your favorite musicians, going to concerts, dressing up, getting on makeup, and then, of course, Marilyn Manson's my favorite, and OTEP and Riot Girl, like Bikini Kill and Slater Kitty, and Type O Negative, Nirvana, and any metal I like practically. I just love any rock and roll and every genre, even classical, except I don't like opera, and I don't like rap, and I don't like hip-hop, and I don't like horror, and I don't like most country. I think everything else I love, and I love music, and my favorite ever, well, obviously, since I was 12, so like, what, 13, so 12 years now, Marilyn Manson, and, Manson's book is my favorite book, obviously, my favorite biography, and I love music stores and record stores, and shopping in them, and then VIP, but also it's really fun, and means a lot when artists you love, like, randomly do signings, and they meet fans. It's really fun, like, you randomly meet them, and it's not expected, and it's always really fun. And music, obviously, I love the most, besides myself, and those are 10 things I hate and 10 things I love.